Hey guys, this video is going to be about evaluating your I can mindset and getting a quick win. So let's go. All right, let's do a really quick review of how we got to where we are. First, we started with this dream statement, which has a value and where it can be applied. So in this example we're doing now, it was to be a more memorable communicator in my meetings and presentations at work. Then we created the what if map, looking at all the possibilities and ideas that we can come up with for how we can start to apply and live this dream statement. So we had all these different ideas, and one that kind of struck my curiosity and my excitement was to become a better storyteller. So then we just zoomed up on this one over here, zoom in and add details, become a better storyteller. And it was still pretty abstract, become a better storyteller. I didn't know exactly what that meant, so I kind of did another round of the what if map, trying to look at more concrete ideas of things that I could really start to apply. So one of those I chose to zoom in on and get more details was this start a YouTube channel about storytelling. So the last week, that's what we were doing, was filling in these details about what it could be, in this case, to start a YouTube channel, storytelling, the who, what, where, when, fill in all the details to try and paint a picture of what that might look like. And along the way, I also had some other ideas come to mind. I added them to my what if map, could be possibilities in the future, but we're going to focus in on these details. And it all led up to my Explore goal. To become a more memorable communicator at work, I will tell and record 2-minute stories, and I'm going to put it on a YouTube channel, 2-minute stories with Matt, and I'll try and do it once a week. So once a week, I'll find a story relevant to my work or industry and practice it at home until I can tell it in 2 minutes. Along the way, I'll research at least one storytelling technique and try using it in that week's story. So this is the point where you should be at now, where you have a very clear goal that's aligned with your dream statement and that came out of your what if map. So really, I just know exactly what it is. And this next part is all going to be about taking action. Having an I can mindset is about having the belief that you can be successful and really actually accomplish, bring to life what your Explore goal is, and that you are able to start taking action on that. So the first part of this I can mindset assignment is to just evaluate where you are on your I can mindset right now. So in my case, I'm going to show you this example of my I can mindset for starting a YouTube series about where I tell 2-minute stories. Okay, so on your assignment, the week 5 assignment, I give you some of these different things that you can evaluate on, these different criteria: expectations, knowledge and orientation, tools and resources, and who can give support. And then I have some questions and some things that can help you start evaluating where you are in those parts of the I can mindset. So let's look at expectations. Here we have, what kind of expectations do I have for myself for this goal? Are they realistic? Are my expectations so unreasonably high that I feel overwhelmed? Are they too low that the goal doesn't feel exciting or inspiring? So let's start with those. So my expectations on this goal were pretty laid out clearly in my Explore goal, where I just said once a week I'm gonna record a 2-minute story. And I think that's a pretty good expectation. I don't think that's unreasonably high. But one thing that I realize is not clear with my expectation is I don't know how long I want to do this. Like, do I want to do it for a year? Do I want this to become like a habit I'm just going to do in perpetuity, or should I just try it once? So I think, honestly, reasonably, for me doing, with all the things on my plate, I think it would be reasonable for me to do 3 stories. I'll start with that. So I'll start with 3 stories in 3 weeks. And that actually does help me a lot, because in the second part, where it says, are my expectations so unreasonably high that I feel overwhelmed? I wasn't feeling super overwhelmed, but I got to be honest, just thinking about having to record a story every week, that kind of made me nervous, because I know that some weeks I get super busy. But when I put this more clear expectations, I'm going to do it once a week, just for 3 weeks. That actually sounds a little more exciting, because I know I can do that just in 3 weeks, once a week, and that sounds a little more fun. And then there's less obligation. There's no unclear expectation that's just seems way too big to do it for years and years. Okay, so now I would say when I first started, on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident am I that I can achieve this goal? I'd say before doing this part, I was maybe a 6. I knew I could do it, but I just didn't know, I wasn't feeling really that I wanted to, or I didn't know if I could really commit to that much. But now that I just say 3 weeks, I'm actually more like an 8 and 9 now. And I know I'm just doing this for a lesson, but that actually is starting to sound pretty fun and doable. So I might actually do that. Okay, so next up, knowledge and orientation. Do I have the knowledge I need to get there? What else do I need to know that I don't know yet? Do I know each step I need to get to that goal? Could I explain each one in detail? Now, this one, my goal is pretty clear in my description, where I just say, okay, a story. 1 story a week for 2 minutes. I'm going to post it on YouTube. Now, there are some gaps of knowledge that that aren't figured out yet, that might become a roadblock. So one of those for me would be, I need to figure out what stories. I think I don't want to get too bogged down in trying to decide what stories to tell. And I know for me, that's something that can hold me back a lot. So I think that would be good to, maybe I'll come up with a list of just 5 stories. I'll come up with a list of 5 stories that can be told in 2 minutes. And I'm not gonna tell the stories and everything. I'm just gonna have a list of them. That makes it easier. The orientation, I think I'm pretty good there. That's more of that, do I know each step I need to get to that goal? Could I explain each one in detail? Now I kind of have a good idea, but I'm just going to go through and see if I could say every step to get there. So I'm going to say first, I need to choose a story. Okay, and I can use that list of 5 stories. Then I'm going to need to practice it. And I'm going to practice it and get it down to 2 minutes. And then I need to create a YouTube channel. And I guess that these aren't all in order, but I'm going to say, and then I need to record it. And when I'm recording it, something that comes to mind is just, where? Do I just want to do it in my room? Because sometimes my room is a little messy, or it might not be that interesting. So I need to find a good place where I can record it, where I can feel comfortable to be talking out loud and not feel self-conscious. So I could do it in my room. I'm thinking maybe I could go to a park, but there might be people there. I'm going to be self-conscious there. I could go to the library where there are private rooms I could do it in, or I could just go somewhere out in nature. I know several places where I could just go out, be alone, and record it. And then post it. And that's all I have right now. I'm not thinking about a marketing plan or making it huge or anything else, because my Explore goal was just to get it on YouTube. Now, as I'm thinking about that, I'm thinking, man, it might be exciting as I keep going. Like, maybe how am I going to share this with people? Do I want to invite other people? So those are all ideas that can go back on my what if map, how I could grow it. But right now, I'm just focusing on this small part of recording stories for 3 stories in 3 weeks. Okay? So I'm feeling pretty good about knowledge and orientation. I'm going to have to choose these stories. And actually going through it, I've posted videos on YouTube before, and so I actually feel pretty confident and comfortable I can do it there. Okay, now let's look at tools and resources. Do I have the time, energy, tools, skills, and resources I need to get there? Which of these do I need more of to feel more confident? Now, this was a huge one, especially time and energy. So I'm gonna talk about all of these things in regards to my Explore goal of doing this YouTube Stories channel. So one of the tools I'm gonna need, I think I already have some of these, but I need like camera equipment. And I might need, now that I think about it, if I'm recording outside, I'm gonna need some kind of good, like one of those microphones that you can pin to your shirt. I think I might have one, but I'm gonna have to find that and make sure it's working. So I'll have to test that. I'm also gonna have to choose the place, choose where to do it. That's kind of like a resource, and know how to get there. My handwriting is pretty terrible there. Choose where to do it. Do I have the skills to do it? I think so. I've done videos, and it's pretty much, this is gonna be low key. I don't need a lot of expertise other than set up a little tripod, which I have. That's another tool that I'm gonna need, but I have one already. Just set up my phone on my tripod, and I can just record a story there. I don't think I need many other tools than that. And do I need video editing software? That could be something. I have some now. That's just a free video editing software. So, but that's just something to keep in mind. Am I gonna edit this at all? Or am I just gonna post things? I don't know. I think I'll just post them. I don't want to spend a lot of time editing, because the whole point is about storytelling, becoming a better communicator. So now let's get to the big ones, time and energy. Oh, these are the big ones. Everybody is low on time and energy, it seems like. So this might even connect back to the expectations part, because if I don't have enough time or energy to do 3 stories in 3 weeks, it might be easy to give up on it. Like, say I have another project that comes up and suddenly I don't have time to do this. Well, how am I gonna make sure I have time? Well, for me, I know that I can always carve out like 10 minutes here and there. So that's something I can do if I get super busy, is just spend 10 minutes on it if I'm busy. So I'll say, when busy, just carve out 10 minutes. I can always do it. No matter how busy I am, I can always carve out 10 minutes. And I kind of do that anyway when I take little breaks and watch a YouTube video or listen to something or get on social media. So I know there's always time to carve out. But what about just in general? Like, I don't know if I could really do it in 10 minutes, do all these things that I'm saying. So another thing I could do is, I know I have time in the mornings. So if I take time, let's just say I get up around 7:30, and I do have time. I'm kind of free until about 9. So I can say from 8 to 8:30 a.m. I'm going to set that time aside for, this is Explore goal time. And I know for me, I can set that aside, and that'll free up some time. I don't know if there could be other time, maybe like lunchtime is another one, but I really think mornings are the best time for me. So when you're doing this, you're gonna have to come up, this might take some time management. Another thing is just prioritizing this and looking at the other things that are taking up all your time, and seeing what's something that, how can I cut out these things that just aren't really what I want, aren't really contributing, and how can I free up time? Energy is a lot of, for me, I think my energy, it's gonna really go with these mornings, because for me, as long as I haven't been up until like 2 or 3 a.m., which does happen sometimes, but as long as I haven't been up super late, when I get up in the morning and I do a little exercise, like, I'm actually super awake in the mornings. So I think my energy will be really good there. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I've got to make sure to get to sleep. I'm going to say sleep by 11. I'll say 11:30 p.m. Let's be realistic. It's probably going to be more like midnight, but I think even with that, that'll be enough sleep for me to feel energized in the morning. Okay, so that's so far, tools and resources. Now, who can give support? Do I have support from others that I need to get there? Who do I need in my corner to get to my Explore goal? Now, for my particular goal, telling stories and putting them on YouTube, I can do all that on my own. I'm just imagining I can do all of these steps on my own, but I know that when I do it with other people, it's kind of more fun, especially when I do it with the right people. So I have my best friend, his name is Steve, and I want to share my videos with him. He's one of those friends you can just kind of laugh about things with, and that actually does kind of make it sound more fun to share these stories with him. So that's something I could do. Another thing I could do, I know there's these groups that I used to go to them. It's these Toastmasters groups where it's just people who are trying to get better at public speaking and things like that. So I could find the local group, and that could become another area where I could go and practice. And those are really good for practicing storytelling or any kind of public speaking, because everybody's there to improve, and so there's no pressure, there's no feeling like I have to be perfect, because everybody's terrible there. I mean, we're all getting better. They're not all terrible, but like we're all trying to improve. There's no pressure to be perfect. So anyway, I think that's pretty good there. I think if I were going to keep going, I might say maybe include some coworkers in it. But I think I'll just start right for now with just sharing with my friends, and I might consider doing that. Okay, so that's me evaluating my I can mindset. All right, we've evaluated everything, and now I need to get a quick win. Now, what does it say in the assignment here? Get a quick win. It should take about 15 minutes, I'm guessing, and I say put in place one process, habit, or resource that the team will need most along the way to your Explore goal. Now, in this case, I'm doing it on my own, so when it's the team, that really just means me. So, as I'm looking through these different things, I need to choose, like, what's the first thing I can put in place, like this week, and even today, or even right now. That's the best thing. It's just taking time right now. What can I do right now? I think one thing I could do, I'm just gonna mark them here, is like, I'm gonna just put a little star there. So I could choose what stories to tell. I think that's something I could do. Just kind of think about it and write them down, because I haven't really said what they're gonna be. I don't think I want to create the YouTube channel yet. I don't need to. I want to focus more on getting the stories going. So I could do that. Is there anything else? I've already decided it's going to be 3 stories in 3 weeks. And, I think I could gather all my stuff, but I don't think that's what I need to do right away now. Let's see. Mornings, lunch. Steve, share with him. Honestly, as I'm looking at this, I think this really is going to be the first step that I can do right now to get going. What stories? So I'm going to say right now, and I wrote 5 stories, but what I can do right now, I'm just going to say 3 stories. Choose 3 stories. My goal is to get 5 stories. But this is my quick win. This is what I can do right now. And that's it. Then to fulfill this assignment, you've got to actually do that. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to choose 3 stories that I can tell in 2 minutes or less. Okay, so I chose 3 stories. And actually, when I got into it, some more stories started coming to mind. I actually could probably do like 10, but I just wrote down 5 right now. And it kind of got more fun as I got more ideas going down. I was going to tell a story of sleeping on the street in Colombia. This story of my great-grandma, how she decided to buy a piano during the Great Depression. how I found my cousins in Norway, my road trip through Morocco. There's a lot of like travel stories, but they all kind of connect to, I can always connect them to the message I'm trying to do, trying to give. And my grandpa has a great story. When he was learning to catch, my grandpa was the biggest nerd. He wanted to learn how to catch a baseball. That's a great story. I think all of these I could probably tell in 2 to 3 minutes. As I was doing this too, I started getting more, my mind, this will happen as you start getting into it. You might be thinking, oh no, you might want to add more things. You start realizing, hey, I actually can do this. I just need to plan it more. So this is what happened as I was writing these. I started getting more excited about the stories and thinking, hey, I actually want to do this. So then I realized, hey, if I really want to get this happening, I need to have a schedule of what I'm going to do each week to get a story each week. So I already set a time, 8 to 8:30 a.m. Remember when I was evaluating my time and energy? That's what I said. I could do it mornings, 8 to 8:30 a.m. And this is the little schedule I came up with. I said, okay, on Mondays, I can choose the story I'm going to tell, and then I can Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I'll practice and practice and practice. On Thursday, I'll record it, and then on Friday, I'll post it. And you know, I thought of something. I thought, you know, maybe this might be better on Instagram, because you can post stories and you can post them for just to be there for temporarily or permanently, and you can kind of do that a little better. I might, and I could put that on my business's Instagram page if I wanted to. So this is actually, I know you guys can't tell my feelings right now, but I'm actually getting to the point where I'm like, hey, this is actually going to be valuable to me, and it's super possible, and I think I can actually do it. So there you go. That's this week's lesson.